Yo, what's up YouTube and Wrestling Universe? Here I am again with Slammiversary 17, which is brought to you by Impact Wrestling. This event took place Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern and starts off with the usual video package showing the history of the event. We start action with TJP versus Trey of the Rascals and Jake Christ and Willie Mack in a four-way match. This was a good opening with all four men doing their thing individually. There wasn't much double teaming. The match ends with Willie Mack hitting a frog splash for the win. Melissa Santos is backstage interviewing the North, and they say don't be surprised when they walk out the champions. Next up, we have the Rascals coming out to face LAX in the North. This is for the Impact Tag Team Championship. LAX have Conan back in their corner tonight. Santana seems to get injured as Ortiz is getting beat down inside the ring by the North. Wins comes in and then goes after the North. Dez comes in to help him, and they temporarily get the upper hand by getting the North out of the ring and going after Ortiz. The North come back in and sneak the win to retain. Don Callis, the officials, the Radicals, and Ortiz help Santana to the back. Overall, this was a pretty good match, just unfortunate with the injury. Hopefully it's not too serious. Next up, Sami Callihan with a promo backstage saying that he and Tessa are the main event. Next up, we have Killer Kross versus Eddie Edwards in a First Blood match. Kross comes out with some Vampiro gold dust-like face paint. Match starts off as Kross goes up the ramp. Eddie gets the better of Kross in the beginning of the match. Eddie winds up taking a few chair shots to the head and then is dropped on the outside apron. There's a video package played in the middle of the match, which winds up taking it down a few notches in my mind, but overall it didn't ruin the match. The match wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. When I think of First Blood matches, I usually think of a lot of blood, and this wasn't the case. Eddie ends up getting the win with a broken kidney jammed into Killer Kross's mouth. We then get the investigative reporter guy in the back trying to get a word with Tessa. She throws him against the wall. Melissa Santos is in the back with RVD. Van Dam is basically saying that he's going to beat the Bully Moose. And that match is next. Moose immediately goes after Van Dam as he rolls into the ring. We get some of the typical RVD type moves, and the action goes to the outside of the ring. Moose seems to be in control most of the match, and at one point Moose uses the referee as a shield and he sneaks in a low blow. Moose grabs a chair from under the ring and we get a Van Daminator. RVD winds up missing a frog splash and lands onto the chair. Moose then hits a spear for the win. This match seemed to go on a little long for me, honestly. Melissa again, this time with Taya, and Taya basically wonders where her invitation is to Melissa's wedding, and she says that she's going to retain her championship. Next up, it's time to pick your favorite girl, and let's go to the ball. Su Yung is out first, followed by Havoc, Rosemary, and then Taya. Taya tries using her staple gun. There's chairs, pans, and a trash can. We finally get Su and Taya in the ring, and Taya begins using the stapler and winds up stapling her picture to Su Young's face. All four women begin taking turns with one-on-one action. Rosemary reaches under the ring and pulls out a little black bag, and it looks like somebody's going to be going into the thumbtacks. No spoilers, but someone goes face first into the thumbtacks. Havoc and Su begin arguing, and Havoc winds up ducking a miss, which hits James Mitchell. Taya puts Rosemary through the table. Havoc winds up dropping Su Yung from the top rope into the tacks with a tombstone, and as she goes to make the pin, Taya sneaks in and uses a chair, stealing the pinfall to retain the championship. Melissa now in the back with Rich Swan, which is interrupted by the Johnnies, and Johnny said he'll take the title, and Slamtown is going to party all night long. Rich then says he's going to be the only one partying all night long. Next up for the X Division Championship is Johnny Impact versus Rich Swan in a good high-paced match. There's a little distraction from Johnny Bravo, and the thumbtacks from earlier give Impact the advantage. Bravo attacks Swan on the outside. Swan comes back and they trade momentum back and forth. Both men are outside and Bravo helps Impact back in at 8. Bravo finally gets taken out and the fans chant, "You deserve it." Rich Swan winds up hitting 2 lethal injections, followed by a Phoenix Splash to remain the champion. Michael Elgin is in the back and he says Brian Cage has no chance, and he is no machine. Next up for the Impact Championship, Unbreakable Michael Elgin versus Brian Cage. The match starts off blow for blow with forearms, heavy hitting action back and forth until Elgin begins to wear Cage down. After the advantage goes back and forth, both men wind up laid out, but then they get up and face off at about the 7 count. Both go move for move, with both refusing to drop. Elgin reverses a F-bomb and a Canadian Destroyer, and kick out. Cage winds up sitting down during a Canadian Destroyer to retain the championship. Elgin grabs the championship and nails Cage in the face and proceeds to beat up on Don Callis. Technically, Don Callis touched him first when he was trying to take the championship away from him. Don is then saved by a masked man hitting a spear, and Don returns to commentary. Don then claims he has no idea who the masked man was. Main event of the evening is the intergender match. We have Sami Callihan versus Tessa Blanchard. They slowly move towards each other in the ring, building up the intensity. Tessa starts it off with the speed, but eventually gets caught with Sami's strength. Sami spends a lot of time taunting Tessa in the audience instead of staying on Tessa. Callihan tells the audience to move as he is on the stage, trying to powerbomb Tessa, but she reverses it into a cutter. Back in the ring, they face to face again, Tessa giving Sami the hands. Sami continues to beg for more. Kid Ref is then unintentionally knocked out by Tessa, leading to Sami to hit Tessa with the bat. Kick out. There's a new referee in the ring that was counting the pin, and Sami winds up taking the new referee out. Tessa hits a low blow and then uses the bat to the stomach. She then goes up top and hits the magnum, but kick out. She locks in a crossface and Sami fights. There's a tombstone, but kick out by Tessa. Sami winds up hitting another pile driver and no kick out. Sami wins the match. Callihan kicks Kid Ref out of the ring and is going after Tessa with the 2 bats, and he hands her the gold one that she brought to the ring with her in somewhat of a sign of respect, and then Sami Callihan leaves the ring. Tessa's in the ring in the corner as Slammiversary goes off the air. Guys, that is Slammiversary, and I have to say it was definitely a pretty good show. I tuned out a little during the RBD Moose match and thought it was a little long. However, the right person won. I was surprised with a few of the winners, such as Sami and Rich Swan, but I can honestly say the pay-per-view didn't feel like a waste of time. Guys, let me know your thoughts and opinions if you've seen the event, and also speculation on the Masked Man if you don't already know who it is. I'll be back with more videos and wrestling results. I'm sorry for the delay on posting this video. I was supposed to be posting it before Raw. However, Mother Nature had other plans. Stay tuned, and I'll be back soon with more videos.